Hey, everybody, welcome back to QOTD, the Question of the Day show, the only game show that puts you on the air. Hi, JJ. Hi, Bella. How are you guys doing today?
Good. How are you?
Yeah,
Doing great.
ready, as they say.
Ready.
I got to give us a little bit of background music. Oh, it's so much better now. There we go. So, for people who are checking us out for the very first time, this is a quick game show that you can play either just by watching us on YouTube or Twitch or by going to BeOnTheAir.com. And then pretty much it's really simple. You just look at the question of the day questions, click the orange button to record, and then, whoa. You know what? Me neither. Hang on, everybody. Let's have a little
dance break.
Well, while we're doing that, I'm actually curious, Bella, do you know what questions we're answering this week?
Oh, yes. We have some fun ones. We have get a little controversial. We have some questions about your boss. We have some wild animal fights, some New Year's resolution bucket lists, a lot of hopeful thinking, a lot of what ifs. They're fun. They're exciting. Hopefully we get some different answers.
Yes. And remember, everyone, if you are still hoping to answer some questions, or if you have your own responses, you can still go to BeOnTheAir.com and record your answers, and you could still be in today's show for the chance to win some prizes. We have like $100 prizes for someone who wins the entire show. We have $25 if you win a question. There's lots of chances to win, so make sure you get your answers in there.
Yeah,
I'm very excited to see the answers today. It's going to be so much fun. Nice. I took a peek at some of the answers today.
Yeah.
And I think we have some quality answers coming in.
Yay. I love the wild animal one. I think it's one of the funniest.
Exactly. No, it's just such a wild scenario.
It's some of those questions that it's those late conversations with friends that you just start talking about nothing.
That's exactly the vibe. And you know what? Those are the best conversations.
Yeah.
Unparalleled.
Yeah.
So you guys getting the feed again?
I'm not, but we look good in YouTube.
I'm able to see the window projector.
Right, but Bella doesn't see it. All right, well, I guess we're just going to have to hope for the best. I don't know. We'll watch on YouTube. Okay.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Here it comes.
I'm worried if someone takes my reading questions job.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
If your pet was in charge, how would the world be different? That's a good one. Everybody, you know that? There like 23 million people got pets during COVID?
Yeah.
Wow, really?
I know, so we're all asking ourselves that very question. But did you guys get pets? Anybody, want to put your pet in the king's chair?
Yeah. Well, I mean, funny story. I actually got my dog Harley during COVID. And luckily for her, she wasn't a very isolated dog. She had a lot of play dates. She had a lot of play dates. So I think if she were in charge, it would be play dates every hour of every day. She would just be like running around outside, and I would be running around outside with her. And she would just like have treats all day. It would be just complete chaos, and I would have a fun time, I think.
Yeah. My dog became a COVID puppy, and now he has like separation anxiety. I just had to pass him off to my dad, and I can still hear him crying downstairs.
I shouldn't laugh. It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we got some answers
If my
coming in.
pet was in charge, things would be different because we would definitely run out of food to eat because of how much my pet eats every day.
I'm kind of curious what
There
kind of
would
pet.
be no limit to how much they eat. We would quickly run out of money for food.
What do you guys think? Going Labrador
And
Retriever.
that's how things would be different if my pet was in charge.
Or a goldfish. Could be a goldfish.
Those small dogs can eat a lot.
Yeah. Really?
My dog Emma, Puggle, half pug, half beagle. Man, my dog has been depressed her whole life. I swear. Like, she's a cat in a dog's body. She just sits on the couch and that's it. That's all she does all day. She doesn't approach to be pet or anything like that. Nothing would get done.
Let's not put her.
Okay, so I don't have a pet, so I'm just gonna go based off of my roommate's pet. If my roommate's pet was in charge, he would freaking take all the food from the pantry and make us sit on the floor and eat kibbles. He was the most food obsessed dog I've ever met, and he just would eat literally everything and literally anything.
Yeah. You know, my dog's not like that. My dog doesn't care about food at all.
Really?
Yeah.
I think my dog would eat everything but his kibble. All of ours.
That sounds, yeah. Sounds about right.
These are my pets. I have two bunnies, Lop and Bun Bun. If they were in charge, nothing would get done because all they like to do is eat and poop and sleep.
So far we're getting like pets aren't going to get anything done.
No.
Well, if my pet was in charge, things honestly would be no different than they are right now. The only differences really would be that she would never touch cat food again. She would only eat tuna. And the other one would be her toys. If I touch them, move them, even look at them sometimes, she will not talk to me for the rest of the day and even the next day. She's very sensitive about her toys. So she would make it to where I would never know where they are.
Yeah, it's kind of funny to even think that pets like toys.
If my pet was in charge, we would probably spend the entire day crawling around my apartment. I have a blue-tongued skink, and let's just say they're quite adventurous. They don't like to sit still. They don't like to be in their tanks. They like to get out. What else would we do? We would probably just spend the whole day eating grapes, because that's probably their favorite food, along with bananas. So that's what I would do if my pet was in charge. I'd just be crawling around.
Skink for president.
Yeah.
I forgot what a skink was.
Skink. I had a skink. They look like snakes with tiny little feet, you know? And so, like, the most dinosaur-looking animal you ever saw in your whole life. If you put them in charge, they would like get rid of the humans. They put themselves in charge. Hey, by the way, guys, click the blue buttons on your phone and pick one of these delightful pets to be in charge. Oh yes, the mystery pet.
Yes,
Wait.
Nothing would get done.
Nothing would get done. And I guess that we would eat out of house and home. And I think that he has like a pet elephant or something. I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
But my vote doesn't count, obviously, because I would have gone with the blue-tongued skink. Yeah, they're wild. They're like a 1.5 feet long, blue-tongued, little dinosaurs, and they're like a big like tube of reptile, cuteness, if you like reptiles. And they have these tiny little legs that come out from the side. They were like what snakes must have looked like back when they had feet.
I thought that they were like tiny.
No, they're big. They can
that's
eat.
freaky.
They eat crickets and grapes. Yeah.
Oh.
I like they're cute. I had one. My kids had one. What is up next? Question number 2. This was Sunday's question. Give your boss a performance review. How's your boss doing? How can they improve? This is your chance to like talk back, get back at it. You know that feeling, maybe you guys don't know that. You know that feeling when your mean boss sits you down in their office and they say, well, Bella, how do you think you did this year? Do you think you deserve a raise? What have you done well and what haven't you? And then it's like, it's totally on the spot. And you know that they've already figured it out. They've already written their letter.
That's scary.
Yeah, I used to dread it. So this is like time to give your boss their comeuppance. Mean boss, intimidating boss.
Yeah. Luckily at QOTD, we do not know anything about mean bosses.
Yeah.
Not yet. Not
Yeah.
I
yet.
give my
Good
boss
boss.
Amy a 4 out of 5. She is super awesome. I think we make great work together, but I'm deducting a point because she never responds to my emails on time.
I like the phrase though. They make good work together.
That's nice.
I would have to say, for not my current boss, but previous bosses, direction would be really helpful, and to not put so much pressure. We're just serving ads. We're not doing brain surgery.
Yeah. Those ad people. That's a high pressure.
Agreed.
Okay, my boss is generally wonderful. I love him to death, but he goes from like 0 to 60 on everything. 60, 100, 1,000, whatever. He goes from being like, doesn't care about anything at all to being right with his nose in the middle of everything, and from being like completely nonchalant to being out.
Crazy boss. That's one of the types of bosses. Crazy boss, no feedback boss, like vacant boss, vanishing boss. And then
Mr. Bossman, I'm glad that you can join me today. Now, I see that your performance in the past 5 years that you've been working with me has been great, but this last month you've been really awful at accepting time requests. What's the deal with that?
at least he gets into the
I
spirit
don't
of this.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up with that, Angelisha? Put him on the spot.
Right now, I'd like to give my boss a big fat F. And that's only because I'm sure she'd give me that right now. But I know it's only because like tensions are really high and things are pretty stressful at work. But it just means lots of room to improve, right?
It's a very positive spin on it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really screwing
I have
up.
no complaints at all right now. Everything's great. Boss is great. I think he had some complaints about my hairdo, but it wasn't too bad. So I had to shave it all off. Well, you see the result.
I would like to do that. I would love to do that.
Shave your head, do it.
Free your head, Pear. Well, it's now time to vote. If you are on BeOnTheAir.com, there's 6 little buttons on your screen. Click them, and let's send one of these guys to the finals.
Ooh.
And a little cash prize.
Rolula.
Yeah, this is like a satisfying question if you've been through performance review.
Free therapy for friends.
Way to go, Angelisha. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We need that. A little, imagine if you got paid, if you had a really good therapy session. And like your therapist be like, oh yeah, you did a good job today. Here's $25. That's what it's like being on Question of the Day show.
That's a better form of therapy, I think.
Oh.
Yeah. Although you can't afford
sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Gamification of mental health. Well,
I think that's what's new for 2023.
Question number 3 of the QOTD questions. What bucket list items will you complete in this year? This is such a timely question. It's 2023.
Crazy.
Yeah, and you got some big bucket list concepts?
Ooh. I mean, I feel like for me, it's a lot of the classics, like going to the gym a lot more and exercising, because I need to do that a lot more just for physical health. My arms are noodles. But I feel like also like there's a lot of writing that I do that I want to get out into the world. So I feel like that would be cool to do. But just like, taking it more seriously, and just do it more.
Well, you always want to be, as I like to say, you always want to be in the business of getting things done. If you're writing and not getting in front of people, you can never learn from it. You can never get better. And there's just frankly no point, my opinion. So I say that
bucket list item will I complete this year? My biggest bucket list item is I want to shoot a show or music video or something for the rap artist Tyler, the Creator. I want to do that really bad. I don't care if it's a festival. I don't care if it's a show, a touring opportunity, whatever. I want to do it for him. And I guess as the kids say, I will be manifesting doing that this year.
Do the kids still say that? Are we still manifesting?
Actually, yeah.
I'm kind of already doing it. Just making videos and being a freelance videographer, and it's kind of like living my dream. And this is what I want to do. This is what I'm really passionate about. Like, I love making videos. I like editing videos. I love just putting out that content for people. It's really cool, and I really wish I would have started earlier, like in my life. But looking at it now, I'm so blessed and so grateful to even have this opportunity to do this, like what I'm doing right now. And like, this is something that was on my bucket list this year. I'm glad I'm getting to do it. So thank you guys.
Yeah. So he's best in something. Not sure exactly how to use it. I'm still trying to figure out Riz.
What bucket list item will you complete this year? Well, personally, I'm a content creator on TikTok and YouTube. I have 4,000 subscribers on YouTube, but my bucket list item is to hit that 50K. 50K subs, I know I can do it by the end of this year.
Do you guys know how many subs we have?
Oh.
300,000.
300,000, yeah.
Wow.
Take that, Enrique.
But also
We
join
gotta
us.
get his name out there.
Who knows how many?
Item that I will hopefully complete this year is going to Paris with my boyfriend. I want to go to Disneyland with him, and then we're going to go to Paris for a few days. And yeah, if COVID doesn't kick in and kick our asses, then hopefully we'll complete it.
There are some nasty rumors out there about the West Coast.
Wow, this is actually a really good question because I will be completing an item from my bucket list next week. And that bucket list is I will go to this amazing beach resort in Bohol in the Philippines.
Oh, I'm jealous.
I like those travel bucket list items.
What bucket list item will you complete this year? So I actually have something. This item has actually been on my bucket list since last year. I didn't actually attempt this yet because I didn't have the time and resources. But because I'll probably be done with grad school this year, I'll probably have my full-time career as a counselor soon, I finally have time to do this. So this bucket list item is for me to attempt a world record. So I have I have props for this question. I have Rubik's cubes that I solve in, this is a 3x3, and I solve them pretty fast. But this right here is my favorite. It's called the Pyramids, and I'm going to solve I'm going to attempt the Guinness World Record of most solved pyramids upside down, and my attempt is going to be 128 of these babies solved upside down in less than an hour. And I really am confident that I can get this bucket list item accomplished. And I am just super excited to attempt it. Hopefully I can be able to do it this year.
That's just insane.
Can you even stay upside down for an hour?
Upside down. That's what he's gonna. Hey y'all, time to vote, right? Let's send one of these bucket list box tickers off to the finals. I'm gonna do one of my bucket list items, which is, you may lose me for a second.
Oh. There's so many great options, though. So impressive.
Yeah.
Oh, Panzer Saturn is the winner.
Oh, he
Go
always
Panzer.
has. He's always very grateful and very optimistic. He's got some good messages.
Yeah, no. And I feel like it's such a great, because creatively it can be hard to get into things and start doing them professionally. So it's big that he's able to do what he loves.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah. But also video editing is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the backbone of the film industry. Oh, it's the backbone of the film and media.
Yeah.
Oh. Now, things are so much better now.
Yay.
So Bella, you want to take it away?
Yeah, of course. You have to defend yourself from a wild animal. What's the largest beast you could take? Oh, this one is so difficult just because I feel like I'm one of those people who thinks any animal is cute, and I like don't want to hurt anything, and I just feel like I would get a little too close, or I don't know. I just feel like I would have a moment where I would be threatened at some point in my life. But I think maybe I would be able to defend myself from like, is it the black bear or the grizzly bear where you can like make yourself big and like yell?
The black bear, not the grizzly bear.
Yeah, black bear. So I think like I couldn't do any hand-to-hand combat, but I think I could scare a black bear away. I think that's the only kind of interaction I could get out of.
I thought you were going to say skink. That would have been a much more wise.
Oh, it would have been easier. But I was thinking, what's the biggest one I could take?
You know, every year in New Jersey.
A Kodiak bear, easily. I'd tackle him to the floor, and he wouldn't stand a chance. I'd go for the jugular, ice, knock him out. Dude, he won't be able to breathe. Easy, light, easy, light. I do 3 at a time.
Absolutely. I would like to see that, Zach.
I like the confidence.
So the largest wild animal I think I could probably take in a fight pretty easily would have to be an armadillo. Yeah, they got some big armor, but honestly, I think I could take that little guy down. Just put him in a chokehold, take that boy down. Armadillo soup, baby.
Yeah, no. They're scary looking, much like the skink.
I feel like my cutoff for animals, because I'm not too confident in my skills, would be like if on 4 legs, if they are shorter than my waist, then I could do it. Definitely not some sort of dog. Like a big dog, I don't think I could do. So maybe like some sort of like wild pig. I feel like I would at least like give myself a fair shot in that sense.
I think people overestimate their abilities against.
Boars are scary.
Exactly.
They're violent.
You know, and I think I've got skills, but I wouldn't take on a wild pig. No way.
I think I could take on like a goat, or maybe like a small dog. I don't want to have to take on a goat or a dog, but because animals are tough. But I say, yeah, probably like a goat. I could probably choke a goat out, I guess, or yeah, choke it out. I think.
What's up with the choking today?
Yeah, well, it's like, well, okay.
Disarming.
The largest animal I think I could take if I had to defend myself. As much as I hate to say this, I feel like maybe a small dog, or maybe something more like the size of like a fox. Like I could maybe have a chance to defend myself, but I feel like anything bigger, I don't know, maybe a fox would bite, but either the size of a small dog or something similar to the size of like a fox or a raccoon.
See, raccoons scare the crap out of me.
They're also like feisty.
The largest animal I think I can defend myself is a cockroach. I think that I can defend myself from a cockroach, but it would be very, very scary, and I'd probably lose.
They got the numbers. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Cockroaches. We put them down. We squash them. We spray them, but they're still around.
They are perseverant.
Zach's going to take on a Kodiak bear, a Yalabella. She's going for the cockroach. Someplace in there is an animal that we believe that they could take down. If you click on one of these blue buttons, say who you agree with and send them to the finals.
Yeah.
Phoebe. Phoebe said
nice.
On a pig.
A wild boar.
A wild boar with huge tusks. Death.
Well, I appreciate kind of the science behind it. She's like, nothing above my waist. I feel like that's a good limit.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, at least you have the height difference.
See,
wild boar though.
Counterintuitive, which I actually think that you're better off taking a dog than taking a wild pig, because dogs they've been bred to sort of be nice to people, generally speaking. Like they're scary, but they're not really all that for the most part. Depends
but if
on
they're attacked, this is a situation. I feel like I'm thinking of this less in a situation of like a duel, and more of like they're attacking you.
I see. So,
Like if a dog was attacking me, like out for blood, oh.
Yeah, I've had a confrontation with coyotes. And nobody was injured, but it was a little fight. Yeah. Well.
All right. Next one. If your friends heard you got arrested, what would they immediately assume it was for? This one's funny. I feel like this is one that you talk about with your friends. Not often, but it comes around at some point. For me, it would just definitely be something stupid. Like, I feel like I'd call my roommate and she'd be like, what did you do? Like, what happened? How did you get, like, how did this get messed up? I would definitely be in the wrong place, the wrong time, or just, I don't even know.
You mean like get caught up in a riot type thing?
Yeah, or just wrong person. I don't even know. I think it would just be for the dumbest reason.
Yeah. No, I'd get arrested for mouthing off, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know.
If my friends heard I was arrested, they would probably either think trespassing or speeding, because I loved finding hidden spots to hang out back in the day, and I love driving my car even though sometimes it's a little too fast.
He's got that like sovereign citizen look, like this guy who would say, you cannot search my car.
If my friends heard that I got arrested, they would probably assume that it was for protesting for either animal or human rights, and probably getting a little rowdy doing it.
Price of freedom, I suppose.
So if I had gotten arrested and I called my friends, I think that they would think I was prank calling them way before they thought I'd actually gotten arrested. Not only am I terrified of authority and terrified of getting caught breaking the rules, but I also, I don't know, I probably just have to call my mom.
Yeah, you gotta call your mom. You got a lawyer or your mom? Call your mom.
Good call.
My friends would automatically assume that I got arrested for, I don't know, punching somebody in the face when they said something stupid, not wearing their mask. I don't know.
Oh, man.
Hey, I mean, if there's someone not wearing a mask.
If I were to get arrested, my friends would assume that I was driving way too fast at very illegal speeds.
Yeah, you know what? She's got that look. She's got the crazy driver look.
They would probably think us for doing something stupid at a protest, getting in a bar fight, or at a fight at a pickup basketball game, something like that.
You and Megan for animal rights.
Yeah.
Me getting, pulled over for burning down a chicken factory or chicken farm or something like that. Well, what are you guys going to get arrested for? If it's like one of these guys, you might as well vote for them. Click on the blue button, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. And your votes will send them to the finals and the possibility of a cash prize.
Ooh, exciting.
Maddie, as the audience is against me.
Let's help Maddie post her bail with that $25.
Let's hope it's just $25.
That would be nice.
I wonder, how many people got arrested for taking on somebody for not wearing their mask during lockdown?
I bet there was some brawls.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
I agree.
Yeah. People cared, and good reason. So, here we go. On to question number the next.
I think this is the last one.
Ooh. It's a good one to end on. If you could choose the age to be forever, what would it be and why?
Oh, I gotta take this one. You guys are too young. You don't even know. You'd say 17 or 18. I don't know. 19 or 20. Let me tell you, I have been through many of these ages. 20 to 30 was not bad, right? You're still kind of coming into your own. You're filled with hubris. You're feeling really good, but you're not as good as you think you are. like between 30 and 40, like brain fully developed. You got some resources, maybe you've got like your relationships. Essentially, it's like the platform is there for you to, jump up and down on. Then after that, like 50, starts to go downhill. I gotta say, as I'm having now, like I think it's like the 40, maybe the 30 to 40. 30 to 40 was like, that was happening.
If I could choose an age that lasts, I guess, forever, then I would choose my age now, in my early 20s, because I can say, and I am confident to say, that I am living my best life right now. I am happy with my current situation. I am alive, I am healthy and all. So definitely, I'm choosing what I have right now.
Would any of you guys have chosen below 20?
I don't know.
Age would be 22. I was fresh out of college, had my first job, my first house, and my first car, a decent income that was enough to accommodate all my expenses, and I was taking a lot of travels and tours of places I've always dreamt of going. That's the best age of my life, 22.
Footloose and fancy free. It is.
If I were to choose a age to be forever, I would probably choose, like in your mid 20s, like 25, probably 26, because it's right in the middle of like old and young in the sweet spot right here. So like you would have time to fully grow out your beard and mustache, and you wouldn't look that old, but you wouldn't also look that young. So I believe that is probably the best age to be forever.
I don't know. Everyone is saying 20s, but also everyone's young who's answering so far.
Yeah.
They don't have the perspective quite yet.
It's fun having
I'm going to start with definitely not 29. Everything starts to hurt by this time. I liked it when I was probably, I'd say like 22, 23, when I had enough, like when I was an adult and I could do whatever I wanted, but my body didn't hurt every day when I woke up. Everything was pretty decent right then. I could also go out and get as drunk as I wanted and not have a terrible hangover the next morning. So those were good times.
Yeah, wait till 39, Patrick.
Man, if I was 21 forever and never had the age or grow up past 21, I would love that. Why? Because you're an adult. You're young still. You can be fit. You can be active, fit. You can, drink with friends. And yeah, I think 21 probably.
But like once your kids graduate, it's just as good.
If you could choose the age to be forever, what would it be and why? For this one, I'm going to say I'd like to be 2 again. I'd like to be able to poo my pants and then have someone else clean it up for me and then feed me and do everything. I can just sit around and watch TV all day and do absolutely nothing.
That is out of the box answer and so true.
Yeah.
I agree.
Toddler age would be fun.
Time to vote, my friends. There are blue buttons. They are there for you to click. Let's send one of these folks to the finals. Is it going to be age 20 or 20 or 20 or 20 or 2? It's up to you.
It's 21.
21, yeah. Like below 21, like there's definitely some downsides.
Yeah. I mean, there's also like people get fakes, but there's always the risk that like you won't be able to do the drinking and the clubbing and the fun stuff that you get to do once you are.
And isn't there like the pressure of that? Don't you find that wearing? It's like much better once you turn 21.
Yeah, it's just like anxious all the time. I have a month and 6 days.
Until you're 21?
My 21st.
Then you're a real adult.
Right?
From there on out, it's just, 1 year apparently, and then it's downhill, according to
Gosh, gotta make this year count.
Yeah. I mean, I'm 22 already, so I really have to make these next 8 months count.
Yeah, that's it. And then after That's like, and then by the way, it's completely untrue. It's completely untrue. 22 to the time that you like start having kids is an era, and it's a really time. And then once you start having kids, well, that's got its own sort of magic, though it gets a little old, you know. But then they go away, and it's like all these things I've been thinking about doing for all these years. Now's the time, right? And so you get this like new kind of freedom. I think that every age has its merits, but that's just me.
Yeah.
But speaking of stages, we're now at the finals. We've listened to our 6 QOTD questions. Y'all have voted for your favorites for each round, and now we're going to go through those final 6 you guys have chosen, and we have to choose the best of the best. I bet you guys can hardly remember them, but that's okay because we're going to review them very quickly, beginning now.
If my pet was in charge, things would be different because we would definitely run out of food to eat because of how much my pet eats every day. There would be no limit to how much they eat. Would quickly run out of money for food. And that's how things would be different if my pet was in charge.
So ways answering the question, if your pet was in charge of things, how would things be different than the way that
Mr. Bossman, I'm glad that you can join me today. Now, I see that your performance in the past 5 years that you've been working with me has been great, but this last month you've been really awful at accepting time requests. What's the deal with that?
Angelicia's
I don't know.
She says, what's up with that? I'm here.
I'm kind of already doing it. Just making videos and being a freelance videographer, and it's kind of like living my dream. And this is what I want to do. This is what I'm really passionate about. Like, I love making videos. I like editing videos. I love just putting out that content for people. It's really cool, and I really wish I would have started earlier, like in my life. But looking at it now, I'm so blessed and so grateful to even have this opportunity to do this, like what I'm doing right now. And like, this is something that was on my bucket list this year. I'm glad I'm getting to do it. So thank you guys.
Mr. Saturn is telling us what's a bucket list item he's definitely got to get done this year. And
I feel like my cutoff for animals, because I'm not too confident in my skills, would be like if on 4 legs, if they are shorter than my waist, then I could do it. Definitely not some sort of dog. Like a big dog, I don't think I could do. So maybe like some sort of like wild pig. I feel like I would at least like give myself a fair shot in that sense.
Oh, Phoebe's telling us that if she was attacked by a wild animal, what's the biggest animal she thinks she could take?
My friends would automatically assume that I got arrested for, I don't know, punching somebody in the face when they said something stupid, not wearing their mask. I don't know.
Betty's saying if she got arrested, what would her friends immediately assume?
Man, if I was 21 forever and never had the age or grow up past 21, I would love that. Why? Because you're an adult. You're young still. You can be fit. You can be active, fit. You can, drink with friends. And yeah, I think 21 probably.
All right. You can drink, you're fit, and you're still young with possibilities ahead of you. J. Ross is telling us what age he would like to be forever. So now it is time to vote. So if you are on BeOnTheAir.com, there are blue buttons going across the bottom of your screen, and you can click one of them to vote. And then the winner is going to go into the stream and magically appear on all of our distribution formats, including YouTube and Twitch, as well as on the site. It doesn't matter where you play. But I vote. I definitely vote. Man, this was a tough batch.
Yeah,
Like
very different.
Yeah, great variety.
Yeah. It's like we're going to get arrested now. It's New Year. We're going to do a bucket list.
Oh.
Angelicia
squeaks out a victory with her answer to the question of give your boss, it's not really a question, give your boss a performance review. And she gave a scathing review to her boss. she did the whole like compliment sandwich thing where she
Yeah.
said,
Perfect.
"Good job, but WTF, you're not answering my emails or doing some time requests. You're not responding to time requests." Not exactly sure what a time request is, but I want one. That was a fun show. Well, we have gone through our 6 questions, and that was kind of what happened in week 1 of the new year. But now we are going into week 2, and we kind of like got our sea legs under us. We're ready to answer some bigger, harder questions. Bella, what do we got for us?
All right, this one plays into our what would you be arrested for, kind of. But this is, if you could break any law or rule of society, what would you like to get away with?
And not be arrested. That's a nice on that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So maybe it's the same things, but I don't know. If I was not going to get caught, I might go quite a bit bigger in terms of my malefactions, I suppose. So that comes out tomorrow morning. You guys can think about it right now. Then you can go to BeOnTheAir.com, click the orange button, make your recording, and then if people vote for you, you can make it to the finals. And then it kind of goes like this: an announcement of a new video every morning. Then we do a quick recap on the air for you in the afternoons. And then the next day there's another one. All week long, you can be answering questions and seeing yourself move up the leaderboard. But if you're a little shy, you don't feel like you're quite ready to record, you can also play the famous bid and guess game, which is my favorite. I'm kind of more there. Well,
the bid and best game.
The guess and bid game, not the best and good game, or the get and best game. Got to get those words right. So everybody, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate everything that you had to share, especially that thing being your experiences, knowledge, inspiration, and yourself. So we will all be seeing you guys on the air. Thanks again for everybody at QOTD and Consolidated Wonder. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Good night. Bye.